Hi guys, welcome to this series of how to make a chat app. I hope you're gonna enjoy it. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel because I have a goal to reach 1,000 subscribers, and there's no way I can do that without your help. So please do subscribe and also click the notification bell to receive notifications every time there's a new video. Also, please do share the video with your friend, your family, every people that you know that are interested in coding. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. So today we're gonna learn how to build a chat app. We're not gonna build WhatsApp or anything like that, but we're gonna build something similar. So I have a design for what we're gonna build today, a simple app that shows how to log in, how to set up some user information such as the name, picture. Yeah, so I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. So it's gonna look something a bit like this. When you click continue, you'll see, and then you have your chats, and then you have your contact numbers, and then you can see your messages, and you can also see someone's profile or your own profile. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna build. We're not gonna build something very hectic. We're just covering the basics so that you know what what to do in certain situations and how to do it. So we're not building a fancy app. The design is just basic, and yeah. So let's get started. So firstly, we're gonna create the structure of our application, how we're gonna work. So you can see I have different folders. I have a folder for my components, so all my reusable components will be in there. I have a folder for my style and for my screen and for my constant. Yeah, so we're gonna start with the style. I usually put all my styling stuff in the same file. So all my sizes are like things like padding, margins, font sizes, everything is gonna be in here. And then I'm gonna have um, a constant for my colors as well, and also my font. What else am I missing? So I have my sizes, colors, fonts, and my shadow. I also love having a shadow somewhere so that I don't have to rewrite it every time. I can just import this and use it. So I'm gonna export this. Okay, so now that we've exported all of them, let's put our sizes. So I have a default padding of 15 pixels, a default icon size of 24 pixels, and then I have my H1, which is 24, and H2, H4, 16 pixels. I have up until H7, so H5, 14, H6, 13, and then H7, 12. Yeah, and that's it for my sizes. Maybe if I think of something else, then I'll add it, but that's it for now. And okay, before I set my colors, I'll just set my fonts. So I'm gonna have it H1 bold, which will have a font family that I'm gonna call Roboto bold, and also a font size, and the font size will be sizes.h1. So I'm gonna do this for all of them. So we have an h1 medium as well. Let's just call it mid or mid instead of medium. By the way, this is my personal way of setting up my work. So you can do it the way you want, as long as you feel comfortable doing it. I just love setting all my things in the same file and then just import them and use them later on. Okay, so we have a regular as well. So h1 regular, and then I'm gonna call it reg, and then I'm gonna do this up until h7. Okay, so now that I've done it for all my different headings, now I'm gonna set my colors. Okay, so we have a primary color. I'll add it just now. We also have an accent color. Also add it now. We have a white, so I can already add it. And gray. Now we have an I'll call it white background, and then we have gray. So add it now. So and that's my primary color. And then we need our accent color, which is this one. And we want gray, which is okay. Okay, so that's it for our colors. I think we are good to go. Oh, we still need to set the shadow. So shadow for iOS, we have a shadow color. I think this also works on Android now, newer version on Android. So I'm gonna have it RGBA, so 0.5 because I want it to be transparent. And then we have a shadow shadow offset. This is just for iOS. Shadow offset. And then we need a width. I'll play around with it, but for now I'll just say 8. And we also need the height, and I'll just say 4 for now. And then we have a shadow opacity. I'll say 1 because I already have a shadow color which is transparent here, so I'll just say 1. And then shadow radius, I'll also play with it, but I'm gonna say 15 for now. And then for Androids, we need to say elevation, and I'll set this to 1. Cool, and that's it for our shadow. Okay, so now that we are done with this, we're gonna import our custom fonts. And to do that, we're gonna look at the documentation from Expo, and we want to use a Google font. You can use custom fonts. You can download them from Adobe or Google Fonts and use them. But what we're gonna use, we are gonna use the Google font, and it's already built into Expo. We just need to install it, and then we can import. So I'm gonna copy this code and then come here. I need a new terminal. Yes, so I'm gonna paste the code and then I'm gonna change this to Oboto because that's what we are using, and then we're gonna install. Okay, now that our font has been installed, we are going to import it. So this is the code we're gonna use. So import, I'm gonna import it here. Okay, but remember we are using Roboto, so I'm gonna change that to Roboto, and this is being done inside our app.js file. So we're gonna remove that and we're gonna import the ones we need. So we need this Roboto 400 regular, we need Roboto, so I need the medium and I also need the bold. Roboto bold, where are you? There. So we have our font, the one that we're going to use for this project. We have regular, medium, and bold. And now we need to write some code. And because the documentation is already showing us what to do, I'm just going to go to the documentation. It's very important to understand the documentation because every time you have a problem, you can just come back to this, read it, and then understand what to do. So this is the code we're going to use. We're going to add a modification to it because we're going to need this splash screen so that we can um, if the font is not ready, if the font is not loaded yet, we want to show the splash screen and until the font is loaded so that our text can already use the font. Because if we display the text before the font is loaded, then that text is not going to be using the font we need. So we're going to add this splash screen. We need to install it. So I'm just going to copy this and then I will install it. So npx, oops, need to write it here. Expo install. Oh, I didn't copy apparently. So I'm gonna copy again. Yeah, and then we're gonna install it. And while it's installing, now we're gonna look at what we need. So in our code, we already have use fonts because we imported it, and we just need this code and also this code here. But instead of using what we have here, we are going to use this part here. So that's the only thing we're gonna change. So I'm just gonna copy the top one and then I'll change what we need to change. So I'm gonna copy this. It's still installing, that's fine. So I'm just gonna change that. Oh, and we also need to import splash screen. So we're gonna import our splash screen there, and it's still installing. So this code is actually it's doing what it's saying. It's preventing this. It's preventing this code from being rendered if the font load is not loaded yet, and it's being done here. We can see font loaded. If the font is loaded, um, then you can hide the splash screen. But if it's not, then you don't do anything. And if this font is not loaded, you return null, which means we're not returning this. We're only returning this part of the code after the font has loaded successfully. Okay, we still need to add something because we need this code to be called, and from the documentation we can see that it's being done here. So we just need to add this on layout and then we add the on layout root view. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and then I'll add it to the code. Yeah, right here. Yeah, and then it's also done installing, so I think we are good to go. Okay, we still need to change the spots, remember, because I said we will be using this. So I'll just copy this and then paste it here. And now we just need to change this to our fonts. So we have medium and bold. Okay, so I'll see if I can change their names because I would like to call them Roboto Reg. Yeah, I can give them an alias because remember, this is what I'm using. This is what we are actually using in our code. Oops, just need to fix this. Okay, so this is what we are using inside our style. We are using reg, med, and bold, and there is no underscore, so I'll just copy this and then put it there. And then for medium, oops, this I should do medium, and then we must also do this for bold and bold. Just double check to see if that's, yeah, bold, med, and reg. Yeah, so these are alias we give them because our code is gonna call them like this, and then once we call them like this will be passed. Yeah. So this is how we import our font, and we're gonna try it. We'll try. I'll say, okay, I need my phone. There it is. So I just look and see if the font is gonna change. So we're gonna say style is equal to fonts. I need to import that. Yes, that's H1 bold. And then I'm gonna save this. It's refreshing. Apparently it didn't change. Let me just, okay, apparently we have a problem. Okay, we're not using these. Why do we have a problem? None of these files exists. Okay, so I think we have to stop our application and then restart the server. So let's just do that. I'm gonna stop doing this and then restart. Okay, so the server has restarted. I'm gonna run the application on Android. I'll just close this one. I'll close everything and then when I restart it. Okay, it's opening on Android. Wait a minute. Oh, we have a problem saying use callback doesn't exist. We forgot to import use callback. So we're gonna import that from React. Use callback from React. Okay, let's save and see. It's refreshing. And we can see that our font changed. We have a Roboto bold. I'm gonna try H3 regular and save. Yeah, so it's working. We've imported our font successfully, and we can see that the font that we set in our style here is working. So that's the benefit of setting everything in a file, and then you can just import and use them instead of typing them all the time. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so let's now build our first screen and our first component. So the first screen we're gonna build is this one. It's the login page, and the component is this part here. I want to build it as a component because we're using it here, and we are also using it here. So it's gonna be a separate component so that I don't have to rewrite the codes every time. So we're gonna build this screen. I'm gonna call it login, and we're gonna build it inside our screen folder. So I'm gonna call it login.js, and then in here I'm gonna import React, and just gonna delete that. So we have React. I'm gonna import our view. I forgot to import view from React Native, so I'm just gonna do that. Yes, now it's imported. And we also need a style sheet because we need the style. So we're gonna create our style. Const styles. Go to I should create. Okay, so in here, container with 100%, height 100%. Okay, and then we're gonna say style is equal to style.container. Okay, so let's import it inside our index.js file. So import, I'm gonna call it login screen so that I know that it's the screen from login, and then we're gonna export it from here. So all our screens will be exported from here so that we can import them from one place. Screen. Okay. So now we're gonna go to our app.js, and we are going to import our login screen. So I'm just gonna say login screen, and it's recognized already what it is. So I'll just click that, and then it's gonna import that for me, and then save. Now let's reload our application. So I'm gonna refresh. Saying no. Okay, let me just close this, and then I'm gonna open it again. Okay, so the app is running. It's not showing anything because inside our login there is nothing to display. But we're gonna build our first components inside the component folder, and I'll just call it banner. I can't think of a better name, so I'll just keep it as banner. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this, and then we're gonna import our view here as well. View from React Native, and then we're also gonna create our style. Const style equal to style sheet dot create, but we need to import style sheet from React Native. Okay, so in here I'm gonna have my container as well, and then the width will be 100%. Okay, so height 40%. The reason I'm choosing 40% is because I don't want this banner to take all the space. I want it to take just 40% of the screen, because 50% is somewhere here, so I'm guessing this is 40 or 45%, somewhere there. So I'm choosing 40%, and yeah, that's it for my container. And my main container is this one. Time is equals to container, but I'm gonna have another one that I'll call banner. So banner is the style for the for this shape here with the background color. So I have Z index. I'm just gonna give it a big number because I want it to be on top of everything. So Z index 40, position absolute. I'm guessing you know all these things because if you don't know all these things, then you're gonna have to find a video where they explain the basics because I'm assuming we all know the basics. Yes, so absolute and then top, I'm saying, okay, I'll put the top later because I need to explain why. And then left, I'm also gonna set it later. And then width, for now, I'm just gonna say 100%. 100%. Height, I'm also gonna say 100%. And then border radius, which is 50%. And then background color, color that's primary. We need to import it. Yes, dot primary. And then we need our shadow. Okay. So, and we need another style here that I'm gonna call wrapper. Wrapper is the style for the view that is gonna wrap everything that is gonna be inside the banner, text or pictures. Yeah. So Z index, I'm gonna give it even a bigger number because I want it to be on top of the banner. So I'm gonna say 80. You could give it 41, 42. It really doesn't matter. So position absolute, and then top 0, left 0, width. So just gonna copy this. So we can height 100%, align items. I want things to be centered vertically and horizontally, so I'll say center and justify content center as well. And then background color, I don't want it to have a background color, so I'm going to say transparent. Transparent, yes. Okay, and now, okay, so now we can write our code. So I'm going to write everything inside this I don't know if I should call it view, but it's not really view. So I need a status bar because I need to set the type, the style of my status bar because the background is this color here. So I need my everything in my status bar to be white. That's why I need the status bar. So I need to import it from React Native. Yeah, not showing. So from React Native, status bar, and then I'm gonna say background color that's primary, and then the bar style, go to light content, that one. So we have our status bar. Okay, so we need another view in here. This is the view we're gonna use to design that shape, that this shape here, kind of round shape. Okay, so this guy here is gonna receive the style.banner, styles.banner. I think that's what I called it. Yes, and then we're gonna create another view. And this one is going to receive the wrapper star because this is where we're going to put everything. So all the children that this file here is going to receive are gonna be inside this view. So styles dot wrapper. Okay, so inside here, I'm gonna pass in all the children. So children are all the code that is received from another page when this template, this banner is used. So let's say we put a text or an image inside the banner. That's the children that is gonna be put inside here. Yes, so we are done. Okay, not done, but we're gonna export it now and import it in our login screen so that we can see it. So import, just gonna say banner, and then it's gonna show me, yes, that's one. And then we're gonna export this. So now we're gonna import it inside our login page and see what it looks like. Banner from components, yes. And then banner. So we're gonna add a text here, and style will be font dot h. I'm gonna use a h3 bold, and then color, say color dot oh yeah, color is already imported. Colors dot let's try white, and then this is a test. I'm gonna save and see if it's gonna change. Okay, what happened? Let's start it again. Okay, so we have our banner. Now we just need to fix it to look like on our design, to look like this. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so as you can see, our goal is to realize this, but at the moment, this is what we have. But when you look at this, this is just a simple box, simple rectangle that has been rounded. So we're gonna try to achieve this. So as you may notice, the simplest way to do this may be to have a background image that you can use. Maybe have different background images for different screen sizes, and then you can just render that one based on the screen size. But what I'm trying to do is for learning purposes. So we're gonna try and manipulate a view to have this instead of going with the background. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try and find the width of our screen, because I'm gonna need that box to be bigger than our screen, and then we can round it just like here. So I'm gonna find the width of our screen, and then after finding the width, I'm gonna add 70% of the size of our screen to that width. So I'm gonna do let width equal dimensions, and then we have to import dimensions from React Native. So dimensions dot get window dot width. Yes, so this is gonna give us the size of the width, and then I'm gonna add 70% to it, maybe times 0.7. So I'm gonna use this width here instead of 100% for the banner, because I need it to be bigger. So I'm gonna say width, and because I want it to be okay, so I'm gonna use the width here as well for the height. So instead of having a rectangle just like in our design here, we're gonna have a very big square. The reason I want big square is because I'm gonna push it up so that we can cover the edges as well. So I'm gonna push it up. So but before we push it up, remember we also have a border radius. So a border radius this time, because I don't want it to be a full circle. I just want it um, to be rounded a little bit, because when you see the design here, it's not a circle. It's like an oval, and I want that. So I'm gonna say the border radius is equal to the width divided by 2, because if I use the whole width, then we're gonna have a perfect circle. Okay, so let's save this and see what we have. Cannot read undefined. Is it dimensions or is it dimension? Oh, sorry, it's an S, not a T. Dimension. Okay, so you can see we have a very big circle here. So now I'm just gonna push it up and also push it to the left. So I'm gonna start with the left. I'm gonna use percentage, so I'm gonna try something. Let's try 20% and see. Oh, that's the text. We are working with the banner here, left. So I'm gonna try 20% and then I'll just see what it gives us. Yeah, that looks fine, but I don't think it's the middle, so I'm gonna try 30. I think that's fine. So now let's push it up. So I'm gonna try minus 50%. It's too low, so I'm gonna try 80. Still low. Let me look at the design. It should be more than 50% of the screen. So let me try 100. That looks fine, but let me see. No, I think I should go higher. So I'm gonna try. Let's try this. Yeah, I think this looks like our design now. So, but this curve is a bit too rounded the sides. But when you look at this, they're identical. So I'm gonna try to push it more to the left. Just try 35. Yeah, I think that looks fine for me. Yeah, I love it. Cool. So now, okay, we already have status bar, lights. Yes, that's why everything is white. So we've managed to achieve this design without using a background image. So now, no matter which phone screen size I have, this banner here is going to resize itself because I'm using percentage. So it's going to resize itself according to the screen size, and I don't have to worry about having different background images. Okay, now we have to change this text and then add a button, a text box, and a login label. So let's do that. Okay, so let's do it. So remember, this text here is in our login screen. So we want welcome to the chat app. So I'm just gonna copy that and put it here. Okay, let's see. We have welcome to the chat app, but I want it to be this way. So I'm gonna put welcome on top, and then I'm gonna put to the chat app just below it. So I'm just gonna copy this. Okay, let's see what we have now. Okay, but this one needs to be on the left. So text align left. Oh, but we decided that everything should be in the middle here, so just gonna remove this. Oh no, that's our set this one. Okay, so now we can decide how we want our text to be. So I can have a div here, a view, not a div. I'm thinking about HTML now. So I'll just align everything in the center. So okay, so width will be 100%, height will be 100%. Align items. Oh no, let me see if this is gonna work like this. And then I'm just gonna, oh yeah, this works. So I didn't have to change this. Just added another view and then put everything inside my view. So now I can just change the size. I'll say 1 and 1. Not big enough. So I'm just gonna manually put this. What size is it? It's 40. Title. Font size will be 40 pixel. Okay, same thing here. Let's see. Okay, what happened? What did I do? Oh, sorry, we can't say 40 pixel, we'll just say 40. So I'm gonna reload this. Okay, now our app is looking almost the same as what we're trying to achieve. So this, yeah, so okay, so looking at this, I can see that this text is not actually vertically centered. So, and okay, I can also remove this text align left. So I'm gonna try to push it up. So I'm gonna say margin top minus, I try 10%. Yeah, I think that's centered. Okay, I'm gonna just try 11. Okay, I think it's centered. If it's not, then I don't think anybody will notice that. But let me try 12, because okay, yeah. So now it's vertically centered, at least to me. Please don't judge me for that. Okay, so let now create our body. So I'm gonna add a view just below the banner. View, and then the style will be styles.body. So I'm gonna create a body style. Body. Padding will be 15, but I want a special padding for the top. So padding top will be 50. Okay. So now I'm gonna copy this text because we need to write login. So we need this login, and I know that it's 50 padding top because I can see here at 51. So I'm just gonna put it back to 50, and then I have 15 this side. So we need that login. So I'm gonna write login, but I don't need this, and I want the color to be gray. Yes, so let's see. Okay, there is our login. So now we need to create a text box component. So I'm gonna go to the component folder and then create. I'm gonna call it textbox.js. I think it's called yes, I'm importing React, and then we're gonna import a view from React Native, and then a text input from React Native. Okay, so this will be our text box. So I'm gonna export and import it. Text box and export. Then I can import it inside our login. And I'll just put it here. So right now we can't see anything. So I'm gonna add a styling now. That we need to import this guy. Okay, so container, the width will be 100%. Height, okay, what is the height of our text box? It's 59. So height will be 59 according to our design. And then border radius is, where are you? It's 10. 10. Oops. And then border color, I didn't import it. Colors dot accent, and then border width will be 1. And then we need a text box style as well. So height will be 100% because I wanted to take the whole height, and then width will also be 100%. And I think that's all I have to do. Just style container, and this one. Let's save and see. Oh yeah, we have it there. So now we need to add things like props and stuff. So I'm just gonna say props, and then just put all the props for now, and we'll see if we need to change it. But we also need to add a margin between the login and the text box. So I'm just gonna check that. We have 14 and we're gonna make it 15. So I'm gonna say margin top would be 15. Yes. So now we can add things like placeholder. What does it say? Phone number. Oh yeah, we need to add some more styling. So heading, what is the padding? It's 15 as well. 15. So instead of 59, I'm gonna try and make it even, because you can see the padding is not the same. So if I do -1, then it's gonna be 17, 17, and then -4. So -5. I'm gonna do -5. So it's gonna be 54 instead. Okay, now let's see. Yes, there is phone number. But we can change this font size. Styling, so I'm going to say font dot, I need to import. Maybe I'm going to try H3 medium. Let's see. No, that's too big. So H4. Yeah, I love it like this. There is our button. But if we look at the design, the button is white inside. So I'm gonna change that to white. Um, Actually, never mind. It's white. I will need to fix this. Okay, but before, I think I would like to change something. Instead of specifying the height of the button, I'll just remove this and also remove this and just say padding 10 maybe. And then I'm also gonna move this from the container to the text box itself. And then add a comma there. Let's see. Yeah, this looks fine. Just gonna make maybe this 2. Yeah, I think this looks better. I love it like this. So we have our login function. All we need is a button now. So the button is almost the same. So I'm just gonna copy this and paste it. Then I'll change this to button. I'm gonna call it btn for button. And then I'm gonna change this to btn as well. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this and also this because I don't need it. And instead of this, I'm gonna import a touchable opacity. So touchable opacity, and then we're gonna add a touchable opacity here, and then we're gonna add this a button style. So btn. So width will also be 100%, and I'm also not gonna specify a height, so I'm just gonna say padding 10, and then align items will be centered because I want things to be centered, and justify content will also be center. And border radius, just like the button, it will be 10. Background color, maybe color dot accent. I think that's all we need. So styles.btn, and then all we need now is a text. So we're gonna add a text from React Native if you didn't import it, and the text will say props.title. Oops. Okay, so we need a style for the text. Now use the one from fonts dot, and I think I'm gonna use something. Okay, let me try medium, and then color will be colors dot white. I think that's all we need. Like import this here. Okay, let's go to login and then import this btn. Yes, title will be continue. Let's see. Okay, the button doesn't appear. Oh, there it is. It's just taking time. So there is our button, but I feel like it's a bit small. So instead, I'm gonna say padding vertical. I want it to be 15. Oh, that's a text box. Shouldn't be changing anything here. So I'm gonna go to the button and say padding vertical go to 15. Yes, so we have our button and our text box, and they look exactly like our design. So I'm happy with this. So this is the first part of our series of videos. Thank you so much for watching this first part where we created our login page. In the second part, we're going to create the second page where you enter your name and then you confirm. And then in the last part, we're going to create this page here, and then that page, then we're going to create our backend, and connect everything together. But that's it for our first video. Thank you so much for coming along, and see you in the next part.